Hi. If you're seeing this clip, then I put the video into two parts because when I originally filmed this, which took me like a few days to film because I have so many binders, I put it into iMovie and it was like over an hour and 12 minutes long, and I was like, oh holy shit, I don't want to have them sit through an hour and 12-minute long video. I don't know how I made an hour in like an hour and change video from the last time that I did 44 minutes. I don't know how I did it. So if you're seeing this clip before the start of this video, that's why I decided to do two parts, because I knew for a fact that you all were not going to sit through an hour-long video from me. I don't have a dedicated audience like that. I do not have a dedicated audience. I legit have like 48 subscribers. You're not sitting through an hour-long video. If you're not showing my binders anyway. So that is why this clip is here. On to the video. And welcome to my 3rd gen binder. My 3rd gen binder has gotten quite the upgrade because I've taken groups out of here and added a group, and the majority of this talking portion is going to be talking about this one group that moved into my 3rd gen binder. That being Monsta X. The short version is, prior to Gambler, or One of a Kind era, I was starting to fall out of love with Monsta X. Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm just gonna like drop them completely. More in the sense of like, I wasn't really enjoying the music and I wasn't like actively following them as closely as I was previously, like I am with my other groups. Like I kind of follow them pretty religiously, like when they put out content and stuff like that. Like I watch videos, and Monsta X was getting like pushed to the sidebar. And plus everything that was happening with Wonho and Wonho solo, I just felt like Monsta X was like getting pushed further and further into a corner. So I just went, you know what, I'm gonna push them down to just stand level, because I don't want to fall out of love with them. I love Monsta X. I love them so much. Like, they were my 2nd boy group I ever started listening to, so like they have a very special place in my heart. And there's another thing that changed in this binder that I'm gonna talk about. I love Monsta X. They're gonna be in 3rd gen for a while until I feel like I can give them as much attention as I'm giving the other ones. At the moment, I cannot. My brain can only work so much. So let's go on to Monsta X. I'm gonna tell you right now, this does not have Wonho's solo stuff in it anymore. I now have a Soloist Binder, because I knew that Wonho was probably gonna release at least one more album this year. If not 2, maybe. No, probably just one more this year. And it was already getting full enough as it was in my like old group, and then when I moved to here, it still was getting really sick. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move Wonho into his own binder. So we have the CD plates from several of the albums that I cannot remember. I have the pictures that I want from Beautiful in here, from the Beautiful albums. I have all 3 of them. And I always obviously have the Shine Forever things that aren't in specific orders, which they kind of should be now. I haven't put those in like age order. These are cards that I found that I just really liked. I liked this version of it, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use this for my cover page. Wonho's still in them. Then we have my Wonho page, which probably will never get updated, so this is what it's gonna look like for probably the rest of my collecting purposes. For at least as part of the Monsta X part of the binder. Now, if you watch my previous binder, updated binder, you know that Kian and Changyun have been my second and third bias for a very long time. Just this month alone, I realized that they are no longer my bias. Minhyuk is my bias. I don't know when it happened. I happened to be like looking up Monsta X GIFs and stuff like that on Tumblr, and for some reason, like every time I was looking at GIFs from Gambler, I just was smiling at Minhyuk, and I was like, oh, look at Minhyuk, he looks so good this era, and like just kind of like all giddy about it, and then all of a sudden it just kind of dawned on me like, huh? My bias changed. Into almost 3 years of standing Monsta X, my bias has changed. Don't know when it happened, don't know how it happened, it has happened, and now Minhyuk is my bias for Monsta X. Now that Wonho is out of the picture, which sucks, I hate saying those words, but Minhyuk is now my bias. I don't know when it happened, I really don't. I'm not complaining because I love Minhyuk. I think honestly he was gonna be my third bias, but at the time I met my friend, the same friend who actually biased Minhyuk, so I think I kind of just let her bias him so we didn't like conflict even more how many biases we had that were the same. So I think that's what really kind of happened, and I just kind of, unfortunately, like I hate when I say these things like settled. I don't really mean settled, but like, you know, like if you are a pushover, you kind of just go, okay, sure, you can bias him. So whatever. I have my cards in album order, which is so fucking cool. Like, oh my god. I really wish I could go back and get the rest of Are You There and We Are Here albums, because I never did. I always wanted to, but I never did. I have so many Monsta X cards, oh my god. So many Monsta X cards. I appreciate this though. The like cut off to OT7 to OT6. And then we have the unit cards, which doesn't do the cool thing like New East's did. Then we have the Kino cards. I don't remember which one this is from. Here, you can be my test subject. Follow. Okay. So the Kino cards from Follow, the Kino cards from Fantasia. I do not have the Kinos from this era and last era, just because you didn't get a set, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna get them. Then I have the stickers from Shine Forever, and my group cards in the back, my two Tuckum little envelope here. The notes from the beautiful album. Then I have Kino cards from Follow and Fantasia in picture order of how I like them, and from oldest to youngest. So same with this, like my favorite pictures, and then oldest to youngest, and then the unit cards in the back. And then we have like the clear cards that they did for Beautiful Era, Fatal Love. This is from Follow. And then the Polaroids from Are You There, We Were Here, and Fantasia. Fantasia X, whatever. The only dupe thing I have from Monsta X, which is Minhyuk's standee from Fantasia. And then I have my Follow things here. Then I also have the card from One of a Kind, and shit, no one knows. the true story behind this, but sure. Also have this in here. Again, don't worry, that's washi tape. Next thing is Victon. I don't have a sticker for them. This is gonna... Okay, so we have this from Continuous on the front. I had the CD plates from Mayday, which is awesome. This is from their last album, that I cannot remember the name of. What is the name? Voice, for some reason I totally forgot. And again, like with a couple other groups, I can't pick a bias in Victon, so I'm OT7. So I just had them in the order of the way I pulled them from albums, and then I have Sungwoo's solo. Now, like I said previously, I don't know what I'm gonna do with solos for soloists who are still in groups. Like, for Wonho's sake, like, he's no longer in Monsta X. He should have his own space because he's probably gonna bring out so much stuff. But like Sungwoo, he is only like so far only had one album. He's coming out with another album before enlistment. I don't want to talk about him. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet for like solo albums that they have created but they're still in a group. So not sure yet. Still figuring that out. Then the one and only unit card. And then we have these from Nostalgia, which is probably one of my favorite eras. These from Mayday. I love Mayday too. These are from Voice. These are also from Voice. And these are from Sungwoo's solo. Okay, this is gonna probably trigger a few people because this isn't technically a 3rd gen group. This is a 4th gen group, but I had them in my 3rd gen because honestly my 4th gen binder is getting really, really full. But SuperM, they're probably not gonna do anything for a while because 2 of the members are now in the military. And I only just realized this is a project group, so technically this should go in a different binder that I haven't even started yet, which that may actually go in my Soloist Binder. For project groups, because there's a project group that I'm kind of sort of interested in, and I'm waiting to see what they sound like at the end of the month. So technically, I didn't realize they were a project group, but apparently they're a project group. So I had them here. So we had the first mini, which, yes, I don't have Taeyong. I got dupes of these 2. For the love of God, I got dupes of those 2. So, I mean, like, out of all the albums I pulled, I got these 2 as dupes, and I gave them to my friend, who is no longer my friend. So, that's beyond the point. And then we have the full album, which I actually do like how I did this. It wasn't intentional when I first did it, and now I just really, really like it. And then we have the unit cards and the group cards. And then the postcards from Super 1. And that's honestly everything for my 3rd gen. Because the majority of my 3rd gen groups are currently inactive. As sad as that sounds. So let's go on to the 4th gen binder. You guys see this binder a lot if you watch my photo card sorting videos. Like, I don't know what it is. The 4th gen just seems to do it for me a lot of the time. But you see this binder more than any of my other binders to date so far, which is scary. But let's just get started. So I have this. I also should mention that other than my old binders, my like my 3rd, 4th, and girl group binders are done in debut order. So this is all in debut order. So Stray Kids is first. Sean is my bias. He's been my bias since before I even got into Stray Kids. Fun fact, I wasn't into Stray Kids for a very long time, even though again, the same friend who is no longer my friend was like, Molly, get into Stray Kids, they're really good. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't really like JYP artists. And she's like, just get into Stray Kids, you'll love them. But I already liked Chan before that, for a whole nother reason. Chan rooms are so good. And then Sungmin is my second bias. I love Sungmin. He's such an adorable creature. Creature? Human. I just called him a creature. Okay, we're not gonna talk about how I just called him a creature. Hungjin used to be my second bias. But I don't know when he just kind of dropped being a bias. I don't know when that happened. I apologize to anyone who's Hyunjin biased. I love the kid, like I love him to death. And I really want him to come back. JYP, where is he? So we have all the cards. All of the cards. It goes on to the back. I don't have a lot of Stray Kids cards because I usually only buy one album of Stray Kids. And that's usually the limited version. So then we have unit cards and group cards, and I'm not going to talk about why there's stickers over certain faces. We're not going to talk about it here, okay? We're not going to talk about it. Then we have random inclusions from Stray Kids because they have so many random inclusions. We have postcards, a lot of postcards. And then we have more inclusions. Then we have Oneus. You guys have probably seen Oneus too many times in these things. We have all the pictures from Lit, which is one of my favorite comebacks I've done. Wonho is my bias. You guys all know this. I love him so much. I have semi good luck with him. Raven is also my bias. I have shitty luck with him. I don't understand it. So these are my cards. I still don't have Dongjo at all. Like, he hates me to I think this is the only, is this his? I don't remember if that's his or if it's Solo's. I think that might be the only thing I have of his, which is, same with Sana for a while. I only have one thing of his, so it goes on to the back. We have postcards from the very first album, I'm pretty sure, that I cannot remember. Did the Fly With Us, which I'm very happy I got this one because that's my favorite one. This is from, I know the song title, which is Song Written Easily, which wasn't a song written easily, but I cannot remember what this one was called. Whatever. Then I have the tarot cards, which I still wish that there was tarot-sized sleeves. That would be awesome. Then we have the bookmarks. Then this is TXT, which I only have 2 albums by TXT. And so far I only have one card of one of my biases, which is Suthin. Again, I only have one album by them, so postcard. Then this beautiful picture. Oh my god, I still want to buy a second copy of this album. I've not done that yet. Then this is Onewe, which my biases are Heron and Haran. I think it's actually pronounced Haran, and Younghoon. Hopefully I can pull them. That'd be very, very nice for their upcoming comeback. It'd also be nice if I could pull Kong, what the fuck is his name? Where's his name? Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Anyway, I have the cards from the other albums and the postcards from their first album they released, and the postcards, and that. This is what I need. The bookmark from Memory Illusion. It has his name on the back. Kang Hyung. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Kang Hyun. Hopefully I can pull a card of his, because that'd be awesome. We have 86, which you guys have seen me do AB6 like so many times. My cats are looking into the kitchen. I just heard something from out there. Lovely. Sleeping in a salt circle. So, Woong is one of my biases, and so is Woojin. I happen to have 3 cards for each of them, which is very, very nice. I've been pulling a lot of Woojin lately, which is interesting because I don't really pull Woojin a lot. And then I have cards of all the other members, particularly Daewee, because Daewee just seems to absolutely love me, as you can tell just by this alone. I don't know why Daewee loves me, and here too. And I did finally pull a Donghyun card too, so that's fun. Then we have the group cards and the inner cards, and then the AB6 thingies from there. And the postcards, more postcards, and that's from the last album. And this page that just is like full of random things from their albums, which is falling out. Isn't that lovely? Don't you just love when things fall out? And the cards from second to last album. I cannot remember what it is at the moment. As you can tell, I pull Woojin. No, Woong a lot. I do pull Woong a lot. Now here comes DKB. I love DKB. I have every album so far from DKB, and my biases have changed in DKB. I know I mentioned this in my unboxing of their latest album, but my biases are Ichan, Hichan, and Jinso. So far I only have photo cards of Ichan. I'd like to have photo cards for each of the members before I give them give my biases their separate pages. So hopefully that can happen. Then I have the postcards and this lovely picture of Hichan, and that also from their last album. This is a last, which I hope they make a full group comeback, please. Could you please give them a full group comeback? Like, come on now. My biases are Wonhyuk and Choen. I think it's Choen. So I pull Wonhyuk a lot. I was very blessed to pull both of his cards in the very first album, so that's very nice. And pull 2 of my biases in the second album, so like I have pretty good luck when it comes to pulling my biases in them. I don't know how that is. It's them in Astro. For some reason I forgot my group name. Lovely. We have that as well. Then we have the postcards from the first album. And these are also from the first album. These are from the second album. I love the second album so much. It's such a pretty album. Oh my god. Awake, yeah. I love Awake so much. And now this is Ghost 9. I have not done what I was supposed to, which was cut these apart. I have not done that yet. I don't know when I'm going to. This is my small, very small collection, because I have planned not to get the latest album because I didn't like the concert part. So my biases in Ghost 9 are Junhyung and Prince. So that's very nice. I wish they would do these cards again because those were really fun for the first 2 albums. Really liked them. And the postcards. And then my latest boy group, which is Kingdom, which only has 1 card. But they're making a comeback, so that is awesome. July 1st. But ironically, I pulled the member who's having the comeback, so that's nice. It's all about him. So, Mujin. Cannot wait for their comeback. So that's everything for my 4-gen binder. Let's go on to, should I do girl group next? I think I'm going to do girl group next, perhaps, if my binder closes. So, on to girl group. And now on to my girl group binder, which is very, very small. very small, very small. This is probably like a half-inch binder. I don't collect girl groups. I really don't collect girl groups. You can see my KCON stuff there. I'm gonna hide part of it. So, we have Mamamoo, who is my alt girls. I love them so much. And thank God we had left RBW. Good girl. Good girl. So we have Oneus. We have Where We Are Little Thing from Mamamoo, their latest album. And then we have Will's solo, again with her solo. All these are her solo cards. This are from the album. These are all from the keynote. That is not centered in the stupid thing. Oh well. And we also have Wien, have 2 from her solo, and 2 from the album. Wien's like, I'm gonna, good thing because she was my bias wrecker for this comeback. But we also have the tickets, because don't know why they love doing tickets. This is Dreamcatcher. I only have 2 albums by Dreamcatcher. Where is Dreamcatcher? Please tell me where Dreamcatcher is, because I need to know where they are. I'm hoping they're playing a new album, because that would be amazing, because they haven't had a new album since January, because it was right before my birthday. January 26th, that's how I remember it. But, oh, I love Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher. Suwa is my bias. Have not pulled any Suwa. When it comes to my girl groups, I literally have one bias for all of them. I don't know how it is. There will be another group here. I'm still waiting on that album to arrive. So I'm not going to tell you what group that is until you see the unboxing. Then, we have Purple Kiss, which was one of my most highly anticipated groups of 2021. I'm not disappointed. I love them so much. So I have, obviously, they only have one album. I cannot wait for them to come back. Hopefully that's not until August. Give Onewe a little time. Like, give them a little bit of time. But we're probably gonna get an announcement like, oh yeah, Purple Kiss is coming back in like middle of July, and we'll be like, wait, can you please slow down? That, or we're gonna get a solo announcement from one of the Mamamoo girls. Either or. So I do have the 2 cards from the albums and their ticket, because apparently RBW likes giving tickets to girl groups. And that's literally all my girl groups that I stand. Yeah, I know, it's pathetic. I have a very specific girl group thing I like. And normally it doesn't cut it half the time, because I don't like bubblegum pop. I really don't like bubblegum pop. Sorry, twice. But on to my next binder, which is my Soloist Binder. And my Soloist Binder, which is sideways. Okay, there we go. I have currently one member in here, and it's Wonho. I was gonna have a second soloist in here, but I decided to wait until he has another comeback, because as much as I love Paranoia and Antidote, if you guys know what songs I'm talking about, I didn't want to rush into standing him just in case there was just in case I didn't like something from him. Although I think he's an amazing person, so, but that's probably going to change. But so far it's only Wonho in here. I might add project groups in here, just because you never know with project groups if they're gonna stick forever or not, or if they're just gonna be like a 2.5-year thing, like Eyes One and 101 and all the other groups. Anyway, there was a little fly on it. Let's just open it and show you. Again, there isn't much in here, as she says as she flips through this, and feels like there's more. So I have, obviously, Wonho's 2 albums that he released. They are in the black sleeves because he is one of my olds. I love him so much. He's my second old after Yoongi. Love him so much. So I'm so happy. It looks really odd now that I'm looking at this. This honestly should probably go here. Maybe. No, because that's how I fold it. Anyway, it just looks weird that there's like one black-haired Wonho picture in here. But I have all of his the cards, the postcards, the cards from his the second mini. Nope, this is from the first mini. This is also from the first mini. I put those there because you needed something to see them, and you couldn't see them before. And then I just put the bookmarks on the back. And I did actually cut out white papers for these because I hated how they looked. And then we have the mobile thingy that I was hoping they were going to be the same set, that the Kihyun was going to be the same size as this, but apparently not because, you know, Starship and Highline are idiots and never makes things the same size for anything. That's everything from my Soloist Binder. Can you believe it? The next one's going to be a little sad. Next one's going to be a little sad. And now, on to the last binder, which is kind of sad because it is my inactive / hiatus / disbanded groups. I hate that I have to say disbandment because I had 2 groups to disband already this year. Technically, technically I have 3 groups that have disbanded, but one I didn't even collect, and they didn't really have a physical release. So that technically doesn't count. So majority of this is inactive / hiatus groups, or groups I don't know what's going on with them. So right now, Vixx is on top because obviously they're on hiatus. They are enlisting, yada yada yada. So, and we lost a member. Let's not go over that. My 3 biases are Leo, N, and Hungbin. As you can see, I have no Hungbin cards. He's the only member I don't have cards for. I still need to go back and get a few albums, but he's the only member I do not have a card for, which sucks because I really want a card of his. I really just want one card, just one, to just like put like in the front of this, like make a whole like little display with like his card like in the front, because it's like, oh, I'm never going to experience a Vixx comeback with Hungbin because I got into Vixx too late. And Jellyfish didn't protect him. Anyway. I need to finish my Vixx collection. I really do, because I don't know what's going to happen to Vixx. I really don't. So we do have Leo's picture here. We have the postcards from Ode to Vixx. Now I know this is Hungbin's. This is the only thing of Hungbin's that I have. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do with Leo's solo stuff. So I have literally so many solo Leo things in the back here. This is all solo Leo. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with with the stuff until he, like, either Vixx disbands, whatever they do, then I'll figure it out from there. If he decides to go, I shouldn't even be talking about that. So, we have got 7. Now, I know the members are all gonna be doing, like, solo stuff. Like, we already have Bam Bam and having his solo, and we have Yoongyum's solo coming out as well. Those would probably go in my Soloist Binder, depending on how much I like the songs and stuff like that, yada yada yada. Because they would be officially soloists, since they have left JYP. They're still got 7, but like they're also technically going to be now soloists under their new groups. So that's how I'm seeing it currently. That doesn't mean that's how it's gonna be when I ultimately either get the albums or not, even though I know technically they don't really come with photo cards. It depends on if I like the songs or not, so that's all. So my 2 biases are Yoongyum and Jackson. I don't never really pulled them a lot, as you can tell. This is still one of the cutest Jackson cards ever. Love it so much. This is really, and also I have never pulled J-Bum either. Like, so I don't have any J-Bum cards. So let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, never pulled J-Bum. Never pulled J-Bum. So we have this from Die. I kind of want to go back and get the rest of the Die albums just to have them. They're just going out in the kitchen right now. We have this stuff from Die and Buff of Love. Things I forgot to do. I was gonna put papers behind this, but I never did. We have more stuff. We have pre-order benefit stuff, which I love. I love these pre-order benefits from Breath of Love. They're so fucking pretty. So fucking pretty. Now this group, I don't know if they were in my previous binder or not. I don't think so, because I remember I looked on my computer this morning and saw that I posted this video on Christmas Day. So yeah, these wouldn't be in there. I do stand K&K. My two biases are SuperM and Insung. So far I only have some. And then 3 of the other members. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and get the rest of like their earlier albums. It depends on what happens with them. So at the moment they haven't released anything since their last album. So we'll see. I do watch SuperM's Twitter, or not Twitter, what is it? YouTube. My cats are fighting behind me. But I will say for the Airline album, I pulled a lot of him, which is very, very nice. This group, I don't know, I do want to go back and get their earlier albums just to have them, because they're pretty cheap, is Noir. I found Noir by accident. Minhyuk happens to be one of my biases, which is really awesome that I pulled his card. Who's my Youngku, I think is my other bias. I cannot remember at the moment, but I know Minhyuk is my bias. I know it sounds bad, like you can't remember who your other bias is. At the moment, I cannot, because there's like a couple of them that have like a Y name, and I'm like, fuck, I can't remember which one's which at the moment. But I love them. I love their music. I do want to go back and get their earlier albums. So that's all I have so far from the Lucifer album. This is UNVS. They are on hiatus until their two members come out of the military, which isn't until 2022. But at least I'm getting updated on how they are, or at least with one of them. Chungyu is doing very well, and he updates at least monthly, which is nice. I do want to go and I would like to have all their cards from this, because this is literally their only physical release. Was the very first album, was their debut album, and it's only 5 cards, so I should be able to finish that, even if I have to buy like 20 albums to finish it. Hopefully it would only take 6, so it'd be nice if I could pull like not dupe cards in every single album. But this is UNVS. I love them so much. If you would not listen to UNVS, they are such an incredible group. Now this is the sad part. This is so sad. This is my Disbanded Groups. I've had 2 disbandments already this year. I have a feeling I'm gonna probably have more, unfortunately, because 2020 really hit a lot of companies hard and a lot of groups hard. But this is so sad. My cats are running like chickens with their heads cut off. The 2 groups that I lost so far this year are Black 6, which I was really hoping they'd make a comeback, but they didn't. actually kind of started like tearing up when they announced it. I'm like, no. Even though I saw it coming, I was like, no. And BOY. BOPO. So I just have like header. All their cards together. This one I'm going to do for Disbanded Groups is just put all of their stuff together in the back of this binder. So it's like a whole like thing. But that's literally everything. That is literally all of my binders. Can you guys believe that? 8 binders. 8 binders. Yeah, 8. Can you guys believe it? 8 binders. 8 binders! That's so sad. Considering when I first started in K-pop, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna get past BTS. Then Monsta X, ATs, and SF9 came to the picture. I was like, oh, these guys are just gonna be the ones I stand. And then it became Oneus, Newies, Stray Kids, more and more and more as the year went on in 2019. I think I was going to say I think I did pretty well in 2020. I'm going to say I did pretty well in 2020 about groups, standing new groups. It was mainly 4th gen groups. And I'm doing pretty damn well for this year. So far, I've only had 3 groups I'm standing. Score? Only 3 new groups stand. Yay! But yeah, this was my 6-month update. Guys, we'll see you again very, very soon. So, see you guys later. Bye.